Alright, y'all, let's talk about The Shy, season 4, the finale. Such a mess. Before we get started, make sure to like the video, thumbs it up if you like it. Subscribe, share, comment, tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. All that good jazz. So, The Shy, season 4, I'm looking at my iPad over here. The Shy is not good anymore. It's just not a good show anymore. And it's unfortunate because the show started off with a lot of promise. So when the show first started off, it showed like the gritty side of Chicago where we're looking at the gangs and the drug violence and how the police are trying to get involved with it, but there were still glimmers of positivity with Jason Mitchell's character. What was his name on there? Don't remember his name, but Jason Mitchell's character, who was the chef or he was a cook. He was aspiring to be like a chef at a, a Michelin star restaurant, a 5-star restaurant in Chicago, and we would see the promise in that. The kids, Papa, Kevin, and Jake, their banter, their issues were really, really like childlike and still playful at heart. I mean, they did witness Ronnie kill Coogie, but for the most part, they were kids and they behaved as kids. Now it's like these are three grown ass men trapped in what 16-year-old bodies. So on the season finale, which honestly felt like a series finale, if we're being 1,000% honest, I don't know if Lena thought that the show was going to be canceled, or if Lena did not know that the show was going to be picked up in time, or whatever. But this felt like a awful series finale. So just running through the characters, kind of one by one. Keisha is now with that boy that worked at, I think they working at the Goodwill. So Keisha's with that boy that worked with her. They're now a couple. He asked her in a little corny way with a little note on the card, "Will you be my lady? Yes or no?" That's good for her. I fully expected something else bad to happen to her. But I mean, if she's happy, great. She deserves to, try to move forward with life. I don't like how they did the storyline with her having a baby. It just kind of was, can you do that? Can you give a child up for adoption and then decide, a week or two later that you want to keep the baby and you go take the baby back from the adoptive parent? Like, that just kind of seemed like, a waste of Tabitha Brown's or, aka Octavia's time, because it's like, what are we doing? It was just such a dumb storyline. Nina and Dre. Nina is a terrible mother. Nina is a terrible mother, y'all. I don't have kids, so I don't comment on people's parenting, but Nina, she ain't it. She's just not it. The resolution to her cheating. So everything's just okay now, and we're gonna move in yet another mouth to feed. Like that was just the dumbest story arc. For one, the entire situation with Dre trying to help out Jada, but not just telling her wife, "I'm kicking it with Jada. I'm with Jada all the time. I'm not really at work. Jada has cancer. I'm taking her back and forth to chemo. I'm helping her do little small things." Could have avoided this entire situation. But the fact that they prolonged this and had Dre kind of basically sneaking around, like, why are you lying about work? What purpose did that serve? Like, it was just such a stupid thing. And then for Nina to see them sitting outside on the stoop, and yeah, she's hugging her, but nothing about it looked sexual. Nothing about it looked come hither. Like, it just, to me, it seemed like Jada was upset, and her friend, who she went to high school with, was just like consoling her. So instead of Nina confronting them, she goes and cheats with the brat. And then the past episodes, we've seen like Dre freaking out and she's crying and, "Oh my God, no, no, no." She's doing all of this only for now this episode for them to just be, "Okay, we're going to work it out." we're gonna give it the good old college try, and like everything is cool. Like it was just kind of weird. Emmett and Tiff. I'm torn. Um, I'm on Emmett's side with this, and I get Emmett fucked up and cheated on her in the past before they were married. I completely get that part. But Emmett has also matured a lot to where now he's married, they're committed, and he's been faithful to Tiffany. Tiffany, he shouldn't have told her about Dom, or I think he should have clarified. I slept with Dom before we got married, not after, because it did look a certain way to Tiff that I'm working with this woman. She's like the head chef at your restaurant. I'm working with her. And now all of a sudden you tell me that you slept with her and we're supposed to be, I'm supposed to just kind of grin and bear it. So I understand where she's coming from, but having an open marriage is not the way to go about it. Emmett is constantly telling her he doesn't like it. He doesn't enjoy the openness of their marriage. He doesn't like the sleeping around with other women. He's dedicated to her. He wants to be with her and only her. And the way that Tiffany is acting about it, like, it's just kind of irritating. So we have this scene where Dante comes up to her with the pizza, and they're sitting there talking, and she's like, I think I'm gonna leave Emmett. And he was like, for what? For who? And she was like, with you. And he told her, like, I'm not your boyfriend, I'm not your husband, I'm your nigga. I'm the nigga you call when you need sex. I'm the nigga you call when you need your someone to cut your son's hair because the barber canceled. I'm the nigga you call for weed or whatever the case. But this is not going to really work. So for Tiffany to sit with egg on her face, knowing that Dante like does not want to be with her in that capacity, he just wants to keep smashing her. It's weird that when she goes home and she talks to Emmett and they have this conversation, and Emmett is telling her he wants to close the marriage back up, she is still like, I don't know. And he's blatantly telling her it's either me or it's Dante. Now, Tiff knows that Dante don't want her like that. She knows that. And what is she doing still? Oh, well, I don't know. I have to think about it. So it's kind of like, what are you doing? If you don't want to be married, then just don't. Like, to me, open marriages are the dumbest thing ever. Just don't get married then. So that whole thing where we keep seeing this push and pull with them, and just for at the end for them to decide that, yeah, we're gonna stay together, we're not gonna cheat on each other. And for me, it was kind of the way that Tiff asked Emmett, can you say that you're never gonna cheat on me? And he's like, he's alluding to, yes, I'm never gonna do it, I'm gonna try. And she was just like, never is a big word. Never is a strong word. Like, I don't think that I can really commit to that. And it's kind of like, why can't y'all try to start fresh from here and move forward? But you doing all this hoopla where you're making this big fuss about it, when this man is showing you that he's committed to you. You can see the growth in Emmett from season 1 to now season 4. So I don't understand, like, why she's like, try. You know what I mean? Like, give it a try. Give it an honest try as to how you want to handle your marriage. But for at the end of the episode, for her to get out of bed and then go sleep with Iman, I don't know his name on the show, but to go sleep with Iman, that is wild to me. Because my whole thing is, she wants the best of both worlds. And I know that, yes, people say men do it all the time. Yeah. But the way that Tiffany is going about it, how does that make, like, that makes her no better than Emmett? who was cheating on her before they got married. And not even really cheating on her. From what we can tell, she was a baby mama. And then they started dating. He did sleep with Dom, but then they got married, and he hasn't done anything since. So for me to hold that one indiscretion and like dangle it over his head, it's just kind of like, come on now. And I know that it's acceptable in the way that men do it on TV. Case in point, the way that James St. Patrick was praised and people were shipping him and Angela together on Power, knowing he had Tasha back at the house. It's like one example, but like this just comes across super flawed, super bogus, and just kind of like, come on, y'all. So I just feel like that storyline, that was the real only cliffhanger. Jada, we are led to believe that her cancer is like heading towards remission. To me, it seemed kind of premature to be like, let's have a party, because she got one good phone call from a doctor. This is TV. We know how TV works. The show was renewed for a season 5. We can come back and she be laid up for dead in a hospital bed the next season. It just seemed weird to have it go from she's at the point where she's shaving her head and she's sick and she's throwing up, and I know that's how the body reacts to chemo treatments, to all of a sudden now, oh yeah, I got a good phone call from the doctor and they said if I keep this up, then I can stop cancer treatments altogether. I've never had cancer. I haven't had any like immediate family or friends go through chemo. But I have seen that don't people ring the chemo bell when they're like done with their course of treatment? So I don't know if you just stop chemo like that. I don't know how that works, but that didn't seem realistic, like, at all. That did not seem right. So we have that. They have this party to celebrate her, and I thought it was odd how at the party she calls out and she thanks Emmett, Suede, and Darnell. But like Dre's been helping you out too. So we're not going to see any resolution with Dre? Like, you're not going to say thank you to Dre? Are we going to get a conversation where Dre is talking to Jada and it's like, you kept wanting me to lie to my wife or keep this from my wife, which in turn, that's not Jada's fault that she cheated, but it was a string of events that one after another kind of led them to the spot that they're in now. And I don't think Nina's off the hook. I don't think Dre is off the hook with the cheating, because you should have been honest with your wife and just told her, like, yes, I've been doing this and I know it seems like I'm sneaking around on you, but I'm not. But it does not give Nina an excuse to cheat either. So it's like, it's a real tricky type of situation with them, but these storylines just didn't make sense. This entire season, the writing was just trash. The writing was so bad. The writing was bad. This community protection, Tracy. Didn't Tracy have like another job? Didn't we see Tracy initially like always leaving her house to walk to work somewhere? So like, I feel like, so for Tracy to all of a sudden just not have her 9 to 5 that she had before, and now she is Captain Save the Planet with this community protection, makes no sense. So is this your full-time job? What are we even doing? So, and then like every time they show the volunteers, it's a bunch of old people. That's like Neighborhood Watch. So are we really expecting a 75-year-old woman that they make sure to show her face every episode when they have like these community protection meetings? Are we supposed to believe that this is the people that you have out solving the crime? Because every time we see like some type of situation happen, we see Trey going to help them. So it's weird how it went from Otis being like, or Duda being like, we're going to defund the police, to y'all abolish the police. That's not what defunding the police means. And I just feel like that, the way that they're portraying the whole defund the police on this show is setting a very bad precedent, because the terminology, the phrase, the idea to defund the police does not mean that we take all the cops off the street and we begin to police ourselves. Because as we saw on the show, that didn't work, because Trig gets involved of a domestic dispute. Her brother gets involved. Her brother pulls out a gun. Trig pushes her brother. The boyfriend picks up the gun and kills her brother. Now, if is anyone to say that that would not have happened if they had not defunded the police? You can't say yes or no, but I don't know. But I think that the idea that Trig, this one man who doesn't work either, who knows what he does, he's living in a trap house, who's to say that he's going to be able to drive all around big ass Chicago and police the city? Like, it just doesn't make sense. That is by far the dumbest storyline ever that Chicago has put out, or the Chi has put out. The absolute dumbest storyline. So, like, it's just one thing after another. Duda. So he done beat his chief of staff halfway to death. And Trig saved his life by calling the police. So are we really to expect, or we're really to believe, that this girl, who's an only child, only lives with her father is literally her entire world, we're supposed to believe that her father being beaten halfway to death, hanging on by the thinnest of strings in life, that even though she has the footage that can tell her exactly what happened, she knows exactly who did it, we're supposed to believe that she's going to go and give the footage to Trig. Trig is then going to take the footage and go up to Duda on some Lion King Scar, run away and never come back. What? What is going on, Lena? It was very much giving me Tyler Perry, and it shouldn't have, and I don't want it to. It is crazy how, and then we see Duda leaving. We actually see this man who, I guess he doesn't, he's not like a huge drug lord anymore. That just happened to change. So, but we're supposed to believe that the mayor of the city of Chicago, we're supposed to believe that he won, that he's not only this huge drug lord, but that he's going to defund the police. The governor of Illinois is not going to step in and be like, whoa, we're not doing that. And the rest of the city is just, gearing up and going along with it. And we're supposed to believe that this man is going to step down from his post. Aside from being the mayor, put that to the side. Let's set that right here. So aside from him being the mayor, and we're putting that right here, we're supposed to believe that him just being on this side, Duda, the huge drug lord, the man who beats niggas to death with canes and stomps people out, we're supposed to believe that this man right here is just going to tuck his tail between his legs and go running away. Why didn't he beat Trig to death right there? He beat Gemma's father half to death with the cane. So we're to believe that he's just going to stand there, let Trig talk like that to him, and he's just going to, the next scene, drive off into the wind with Candy. Who now looks like she's mayor. Why was Rosalind sitting in the mayor's chair? What is going on? Like, seriously, what is going on? What part of the game is going to have Gemma being okay that her boyfriend's foster dad tried to kill her dad and she's still rocking with him? It's like, I get it's TV, but some stuff has to be a little more realistic. Some stuff has to be a little more realistic than us just throwing shit against the wall and seeing what sticks and seeing what makes sense. Papa's entire storyline was about this damn podcast that we saw him recording once. By himself, at least. Once. And that was at the end of the episode. The rest of the season, he spent trying to get Van Jones and Lil Rel and everybody else on the podcast. Maisha, her rapping went viral on Instagram. We didn't see her do anything with it, though. We saw her rap that little quick couple of bars on Papa's very first podcast episode, and then that was kind of it. So we're supposed to believe that a podcast that they keep saying isn't doing well, isn't doing numbers, isn't getting listens. Somebody, the one person that did listen to this podcast, heard Maisha's 16? Heard Maisha's 16, and then that went viral. That skyrocketed her to where she's doing magazine shoots and all this other stuff, and we hear nothing else about it. Then we have Kevin chasing after this girl that clearly don't want him. That is now, for all intents and purposes, his foster sister. Why did y'all invite this girl to live in your house if y'all don't have a room for her? So now she's sleeping on the couch? Then the show ends with a block party, which I just knew was going to end in gunfire. For one, we have the scene where Shad and Imani are walking down the alley after they get into the verbal altercation, little scuffle with that one man. The camera made sure to zoom in on him staring at her and Shad as they walked away. I thought that was foreshadowing to him coming and shooting up the whole damn, shooting up the block party. But nope, this was just a great thing. And now we're back to good old Chicago and everything is just hunky-dory and fine. Come on, y'all. This felt like a series finale. It would have been a terrible series finale, but this felt like a series finale. The Chi has to get back to what it was. I don't know if they need some new writers. I don't know if they need to go back to the drawing board, but having characters just drop off the face of the earth and no one ever mentions them again is weird. It's weird. Oh, let's not forget that Jason Mitchell, what is his name on the show? God, I can't remember. But Jason Mitchell and Coogie's mother is the one that shot Otis. So he shoots her. He sees her. He knows who shot her. And that's just it. She's just back in the wind. To me, that felt like they owed that actress an episode. And they was like, I know in your contract we have one more episode for you. Come on back. We're going to have you shoot Otis. That'll fulfill the 5 minutes of screen time that you need. The couple lines that you need for for the SAG to become a member of SAG. That'll fulfill that, the couple lines that you need for that. And now we can go ahead and go forth. And now we're done with you. Come on, y'all. Come on. Season 5, I'm not looking forward to. I can just imagine how much more bull is going to be involved in that. That was the Chi, y'all. Make sure you follow me on Twitter and Instagram at TammyTalks.